Sometimes more is more.
Sometimes more is more. Oh, boys.
Yeah.
So we'll get right to it. What's the biggest news this week? Is it John Tortorella's firing from the Philadelphia Flyers, or is it the New York Rangers team bus running into Macklin Celebrini's Range Rover? Go. Oh, man.
I didn't know about that.
You didn't
hear that. No.
I didn't hear it either.
What's the story there?
That is completely worth looking up. He's parked outside the arena. He's just a kid. He's driving this expensive Range Rover. Anyway, it's parked, and you can tell he's backed into this spot. And there's all this fan footage. Like, there's no footage of the bus hitting it, but I guess it was like the Rangers team bus, like, just scraped the entire front of his Range Rover. Like, just annihilated it. And the only clip I saw is he is out, like, quite upset, like he's on his cell phone. You know what I mean? Like, trying to make a call. Too funny.
Oh, man, that's great. That sums up the Rangers season.
I'm so glad I got to break that to you guys. I just would all know.
I sense an insurance advertisement coming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's going to be signed with Bel Air Direct or State Farm by the end of tomorrow. Yeah.
Are you covered against the New York Rangers team bus? I'm Macklin Celebrini.
Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Yeah.
Oh, man. That's
I
pretty
just
good.
knew about that.
No.
I've the only thing I was kind of following was this John Tortorella news, which, let's be honest, it's a matter of time when he gets hired somewhere about the fiery end that it's going to come to.
Yeah,
it has every single other time. and not without its controversy with some particular player.
Always.
In this case, it was Cam York. So
I want you to explain, but I like to asterisk this with, like, every coach in the league has a bit of a shelf life, right? Like, unless you're John Cooper, which that's just a freakish long stay that just doesn't happen anymore. You're shocked to see a coach past 5 years anymore. So just in Tortorella years,
it's funny.
If we're gonna measure it like
It's like dog years.
Yeah, that's it. Like,
there's like
he's going to kick somebody off.
Yeah, there's 3 coaches. I think it goes in order. I think it goes Cooper, Mike Sullivan, and then Jared Bednar. Actually, he's been there since in Colorado since 2016, 15, 16. So he's been there 10 years, and I guess
I didn't realize he was there that long, but
yeah, he took over after Waugh quit, and he's been there for almost 10 years now.
Man, doesn't feel like that. But
then Mike Sullivan is a couple of months ahead of him, and then Cooper is like 2 years longer than that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I think Cooper was started in 13, I want to say 2012, 13.
So how long has, and maybe I'm wrong, but like, Brind'Amour has been with Carolina for quite a while. And how long has Paul Maurice been with Florida?
Not that
Jeremy
long.
gives the, now I have to Google side.
But the Brind'Amour one, though, seems like he's been there quite a while.
Yeah. Maurice, remember, he was in Winnipeg not all that long ago.
Yes, he was.
Oh, good call, Tyson. He's the 4th. He is behind Bednar. He's been with Carolina since 2018.
Okay.
So, yep. Oh, this can't be right.
Oh, great.
This can't be right. The 5th longest tenured coach. Any guesses? Any guesses at all who the 5th longest tenured coach is? This list is insane.
Out in Vegas. Who's coaching out there right now?
Yeah, but even then,
Bruce Cassidy. Not a bad guess, Phil. He's number 6.
Wow.
There's a guy ahead of him.
Talkett?
He is 6th. He started in 2022.
St. Louis.
6th.
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
It's St. Louis. You got it.
Awesome.
But 6th that he started 3 years ago.
Well, this list is insane. So it's like we just talked about, right? Cooper 2013, Sullivan 2015, Bednar 2016, Brendamore 2018, and then St. Louis is 5th at 2022. I've only read you 5 coaches. Every other coach in the league is after 2022.
Holy lifting.
But Tyson brought up Paul Maurice there a few minutes ago, and I thought he was earlier or like closer to us than this, but it's 2022 is when he was with Florida as well. So
it is.
There must be a group of them right there in that 2022 year.
Man.
There is. There's 4 of them in 2022.
So
there's like 7 of them in 2023.
But Tocchet seems like a 2022, 2023 guy to me.
He is
a 20.
Well, so here's the thing. Like, if you say 2022, 23, there's like a third of the league.
Holy crap.
But then the ones hired in 2024 to now is the other half of the league.
I don't doubt that.
Man, I knew there was a lot of coach turnover, but like this is wild.
So when did Torts go to Philly?
So
I think 2 years ago with Briere.
Oh, you know what? The list is already updated. He's not even on here.
John.
Yeah. I thought they said 3 seasons.
So
I'm pretty sure they said
22
3
to 25.
seasons.
There you go.
So yeah, he would have been right around like St. Louis, Cassidy, Pete DeBoer.
So the only reason, I keep forgetting about Pete DeBoer too.
I have not.
No. No. But the only reason I brought that up is because, like, every time Torts gets hired, we're already waiting for him to get fired. But in reality, I just want to asterisk how big the turnover is in the NHL for coaching staff anyway.
Well, like that's it.
It seems like when he goes down, though, he goes down swinging. Like he is. It is not, we mutually parted ways. Like it's never one of those.
Well, and it wasn't that long ago that like there was a thing come out between him and Kevin Hayes. Maybe that was last season. And then he came out to the media and defended him and said Kevin Hayes is a good man. He said anything that we talk about was hockey related. You know, it seemed to like kind of galvanize the group a little bit. And because he had a big one of his latest fights, I guess, was with that reporter who was trying to, put words in Kevin Hayes' mouth, and he shot him down. But that's the thing with Torts, right? Is when he's like that, it's like there's nobody more like motivating. But then when it's not like that, there's nobody more demotivating.
Mm-hmm. I could see that.
So it's kind of live by the sword. Yeah. It's live by the sword, die by the sword with him.
So I did miss some of this. So why? I heard bits and pieces. I feel like I'm out of the loop. Like I know. So the rumor was, and then you guys can fill in the blanks because I'm not just blowing smoke. I feel like I'm missing 50% of the story. So I'll tell you is what I know, and you guys fill in the blanks for me. The rumor was he wasn't going to be renewed. So even though he signed through next season as well, was that it was just understood everywhere behind the scenes that he was going to be let go this summer when the season was over. So regardless of any of this happening, it was just, I guess, behind the scenes, it was common knowledge, like, yeah, he's gone. Because the season.
They were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. I heard it kind of mentioned, like we always kind of hear this every year, like once the playoff teams who are like not officially eliminated, but they're not making it, like you'll always start to hear some of this kind of talk. And he was one of the first ones that I heard about anyway. I think like, for a while there, he had them pretty motivated. They were playing pretty well, but I think it kind of got old and, they really kind of fell off the cliff. And so, yeah, he was one of the first guys that I had heard was possibly on his way out. But really, there was not much like that. Wasn't because of any particular drama. The drama seemed to happen from the Leafs game when you guys played the Flyers, and then he
made some comments.
He made some comments.
Well, and to backtrack a little bit, but not a lot. You know how sometimes when you see like a 6-2 score, the score looks worse than the game was? You know what I mean? Because it's like, but what you don't see is the 3 penalties at the end and the 2 empty netters and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This was not like that. This was a blowout.
Oh, it was a bad game.
It was a bad game. It probably could have been 8-2 if they had kept the gas pedal down. They didn't. You could tell they backed right off her. You know what I mean? Like, it was a rough... they were blown out. It was what it was. They were the road team, and Philly did not look particularly... I mean, they haven't looked great all year. When a team's looking that, you almost start to feel bad, right? But like, it's not been good. And then that was a particularly bad blowout. And Phil said, post game, Torts had some stuff to say.
Yeah, well, and like it was, there was this ongoing thing with Cam York, because in that game there was some kind of turnover, I guess, that he had, and I remember when I watched the replay of it, I was like, it really just seemed more like a unfortunate bounce than a So he gets the classic benching, or he's scratched, I think, the next game, and then it came out that there was stuff said between them, and the team got involved, but I think they both said stuff to each other that they regret. And then they lose that last game. And then that's when Tortorella had that interview where he said the comments that basically got him fired.
And what exactly did he say? So, like, part of what he said... So I heard Elliot Friedman talking to Kyle Bukauskas about this, but they never actually said what he said. They were talking about it as if you knew. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And they were like, and Elliot's like, at the time, I kind of viewed it like Torts was trying to take the attention off his players, kind of like, let's put it on himself. He said he's done that before, where let's say something outlandish, let's talk to the media, and then no one's talking about my players. They're talking about me, but I'll take the heat. I'll take it off my players. Elliot said that. But I was listening to this, trying to get ready for this, thinking, okay, that's great, Elliot, but what did he say? I still don't know what he said. Do you know what I mean?
So the full...
Okay, go ahead, Jay.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I have it here. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine.
Okay, so what he was being interviewed after the game, and he was fired Thursday after saying he was really not interested in learning how to coach this type of season.
Yeah, so to give like, and that's that was the line that stands out. But like to back up like what you're saying, Tyson, about like the whole context of it. If you listen to this paragraph, if he took that one line out, it's completely different. But the whole paragraph is, when you're in this type of situation and you're losing all the time and there's nothing at the end of the tunnel for you, there's certainly going to be some frustration. But this falls on me. I'm not really interested in learning how to coach in this type of season where we're at right now, but I have to do a better job. So this falls on me, getting the team prepared to play the proper way until we get to the end. So it's like one of those quotes where like he's talking, he's taking the blame, and then he throws that line that Phil quoted right in the middle, and you're kind of like,
what?
Wait, what?
But when you read it and actually hear him quote it, he is like, when he's talking, you can tell he's very much putting the blame on him, and he kind of just says that under the radar. And TSN was interviewing one of the beat reporters on Friday after the game who was standing right there in front of Torts, and he said, honestly, we didn't really even pick up that he said that in the moment, because he said it wasn't really like a hook, line, and sinker kind of a comment. It was just something he kind of threw out whenever he was just kind of rambling about how this is on him.
Yeah.
And but when you read it, it seems to have a lot more shock value to it.
Yeah. And like you said, it was like kind of like a double take. Like yeah, I think if you weren't looking for it in between all the blaming himself and doing the stuff that a good coach should do, he just kind of might not even. But then, like, I'm not really interested in learning how to coach in this type of season.
Well, I was just going to ask you is, I'm at the risk of sounding like an absolute moron. What's he mean by that? Like, how do you take that line?
So,
you know what I mean?
My thought on it, I'll give you, I guess, my thought on the whole thing. I think that this guy, he's a guy that, like, honest to, like, some people are honest no matter what it means for them. They just have to say it how it is. And I think he just, like, it would kill him just to not say that he just really doesn't like the situation he's in. And the thing is like, it's not like he's the first coach that's ever thought that. Lots of coaches think lots of things. They just don't.
You're not going to
verbalize it.
There's 12 games left. You know you're not making the playoffs. If we win every one, we're not making the playoffs. It's that type of year. And you're like, you're supposed to still try to win, right? And you want to win, but you know that our season. So, like, who isn't? Even players not, like, half a neutral here. Like, okay, well, let's just get
right.
Can we get through April, please? You know what I mean?
But my theory with him and that comment is, like, I think he's also, like, he's not stupid. I think he says a thing like that knowing that, like, if he obviously doesn't want to do this. So what's the easiest way to get out of it? He puts that comment out there. And if Danny Briere does anything other than immediately fire him, what's the team supposed to do with a comment like that? With the fans all watching a coach who just says he's not interested in coaching this team and where they're at, right? Like, what are they supposed to do? So I think it kind of gave management a quick out, and it was just done. Like, so I think I don't think he was like, oh no, what did I say? Like, I think he just was honest about it, and he knew they'd probably have to make a decision, and I think he was probably fine with it.
So he says that decision, and it's basically metaphorically like they put Torts in the wheelchair and throw it down the stairs, right?
Yeah. Basically,
oh wait, no, sorry. That's Daniel's kid that threw the wheelchair down the stairs. My bad. Sorry. I'm getting all mixed up.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and we're sued.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah, Paul Rudd video on Conan there now.
Yeah, the Mac and Me. That's I was trying to think of the name of it. What? He goes over the cliff. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, anyways, I think he fell on the sword, and he also just made it easy to get him out of there. But so I don't know. Did you guys have any other takes on it, or?
No, I guess not. I guess I just didn't catch it in the way when I was listening to Elliot and Kyle. I'd love to hear Bissonnette's take on this, but when I was listening to Elliot and Kyle, like Elliot was kind of admitting like he didn't catch that, and that's not how he took it at the time. He kind of like heard the comments and like, okay, this is Torts fashion. They get blown out. He's trying to take the heat for his players. Like, it's on me. You know what I mean? But like that other line, I wish I had known that, because that does read, like when you read it and you're looking at specific lines, it reads differently than when he says it, right? Like, so it's kind of a...
Yeah.
But you're right, that comment is that comment. Like, there is no other way to take that comment,
Didn't he say something about the players before that too? Like, he could understand how the players have a hard time getting up for games like these. And then he was kind of following it up with almost like and I have a hard time too.
Yeah, I don't have the rest of it, but I don't know. But I mean,
yeah.
I mean, based on everything I've read, it wouldn't surprise me.
No.
But yeah,
that said, who doesn't love John Tortorella?
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Him and Brian Bourque.
Yes.
I just love it.
Just provide for like the best. Like, and to be fair, that's two-edged sword. So like Jay, you said, like, so when he gets hired, like, all right, so the timer's already set for when this bomb's going off. The rest of us just don't know when it's going to go off. because you hired Torts. But at the same time, if you're the Flyers or if you're Vancouver or if you're, whatever, like when you hired Tortorella, you hired John Tortorella. So it's similar but not the same as, if you don't mind me saying, like you hired Peter Laviolette. So expect some friction because he's Peter Laviolette. Yeah, that's the way he is. So so when you hire Tortorella,
just
you hire
ask
Tortorella.
The Rangers.
Yeah.
Big question now. Do we see Torts make a guest appearance on the quiz before the end of the season?
I wonder. He hated that.
Oh, man. I hope he goes back into media. I still remember before he took that Flyers job, which I guess was 3 seasons ago, he was, I think he was, who was he doing? Was he with ESPN or TNT or something? And he had that quote about McDavid, and he's like, yeah, that's all fine, well and great, but like once the playoffs start, you're not going to fill the net. And then he got like 50 points or whatever it was. Did one of those like, one of those stats where it's like, well, now it's Lemieux, Gretzky, and McDavid that's only scored so many points in the playoffs.
Man, oh man.
But yeah, he's got some good quotes.
Speaking of some good quotes and sound bites, do we want to hear some?
Oh, do we?
Oh man, let's see what we got here. Let's see what we can do. This one's my favorite. If I can get this to work, boys.
I looked these up like
third man in. I'm not going to answer any questions from you. You're not? No. Oh, good. Yeah. I'll speculate. You speculate and be as sarcastic as you can be, as you usually are. I will. Go right ahead. Good. Should one of you guys be taking the third man in? I said I'm not answering any of your questions. Have you ever fought before? Yeah. You have? Yeah. Why? Are you challenging me now? No, I'm not challenging you. Redden sticks up for his teammates the other night. Yeah. And you come out with some sarcastic article. It was funny. It was funny? Yeah. You know what? You're probably beat up in the bus stop most of the time. Next. The late secondary call. You're a great representative of the city.
Probably beat up most of the time.
I think like a bunch of these are Larry Brooks, aren't they?
Oh, a bunch of them has
fought
to
with
be.
him a lot.
Yeah.
It was
Brooksy.
Probably beat up at the bus stop most
Brooksy,
of the time. Oh, man. That's just typical Tortorella.
Are we doing the other ones or no?
Oh, yeah. You want to?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. Go right through them there.
Feed me more.
Yeah.
We'll see how well we can get through them. It's going to make editing a little, we'll figure it out.
I thought you were going through them all.
Oh, here we go. Here's another one.
Not our problem.
See what this one is.
That rule, what you think of it, and the delay of game rule to see a game in that way.
It's a rule.
How concerned are you about your offense? 1 goal through 2 games. What do you think you need to do going forward to get some more scoring?
Create more offense.
It's like Belichick's we're off to Cincinnati.
On the power play, do you feel like it's something that you guys aren't doing, or is it also a factor, I guess, of something that their PK is doing well?
No, we're just too stagnant. We're just almost paralyzed.
Silence.
Just. Anybody else? Because on the power play, you're stagnant, paralyzed because.
I'll leave it at that.
I noticed you changed up the lines a little bit going into the third period. What were you hoping to achieve there, and how do you think the 2 guys you brought into the lineup today did in their first act?
They played well. They played well and changed the lines to try to create some more offense and also due to some matchups.
It's so awkward.
They'll be fine. We've got a good group.
And he's out.
Oh, man. Oh,
man. All right, we got another one.
Where's the one? There's one with Larry. There's another one he fights with Larry Brooks. It's got to be.
I don't know. I got another one here. Let's see what this one is, guys. Maybe we won't see what this one is, but there we go.
Do you think the Sabres were the hungrier team?
I think it's this one.
No, I mean, they were. No, I don't think the Sabres are a hungry team. I thought we stunk. And I'm not going to give Buffalo any credit. I will give their third line credit. They outplay our top players, and it can't happen. I couldn't be more disgusted and disappointed with the way our top guys played, the way we handled ourselves through it. That team was ripe to be beaten, and we simply did not play the way we're supposed to play. I don't know what to tell you. Did you ask them? Did you ask them any questions? I don't know why I always have to answer these questions. You should ask them occasionally about what happened. Did they answer your questions? Were they in the room? What'd they say? Tell me. Let me ask some questions here. What'd they say?
Lack energy in the first period. Too many penalties in the second.
Yeah.
There was talk about hunger around the net, too.
Yeah. Anybody else got a question?
I love it.
I'm sure you do, Sam.
Well, the inconsistency, it's got to be a little frustrating when you think that you're starting to get
I just told you
consistent.
what I thought. Yeah.
I told you what I thought.
And that goes into the physicality and that clearing around the net and allowing more space.
I'm not going to pick it apart. We sucked.
Okay.
And we sucked at a time that you can't suck. So we have to get it straightened out. So I don't know what else to tell you.
We sucked at a time when you can't suck.
What a quote.
All right, I got one more here. This is what I found.
I'll answer these questions here first. What? No. Next question. Just ask the question, please. I'm not talking about the refs. No. Next question. I'm talking about the calls. No. I'm not talking about the game. What? It becomes a mental game. It's just one game. Next question. We had a chance. Yeah. Next question. We need to attack. Yes. Next question. Yes, I did. What? Next question. No. I both power play stunt come both teams stunt. These type of situations happen for a reason, and it's good stuff. It's real good stuff. It's really good things. There was a lot of bad things, but there's some good things. It just keeps on building. What? Yes. And I'm not trying to be a smart pants, but stuff like that. It's a bunch of crap. Stop coaching, Pat. Next question. I'm talking about the refs. Next question. I'm talking about the games. Next question. Just ask the question. Please. We'll play the same way. Keep banging away. Next question. No update. Good thinking.
Brilliant.
Oh, man.
That is not what I thought it was, but I'll take it.
Oh, dear. That's too funny.
Oh, gosh. It's too funny. He's provided for some moments. And, Jay, that's all besides the don't push me, right?
Oh, my goodness. Just go look that up. Just search John Tortorella and don't push me. It's another song like that. It's the big...
Here you go, buddy.
It's when he was with the Canucks. Oh, you're doing it. Let's go.
Here you go.
I love this.
That's an interesting start to the hockey game on a variety of different levels. What was going through your mind when you saw the way the game started?
I see the starting lineup. I know the guy across the bench with the lineup that he had. I kept brothers that risk that way, and that's where it suits. It shouldn't be in the game, that stuff. I don't want it in the game, but I have to protect my team. Not proud of it. I don't feel great about it at all, but I do the same thing again if it can happen. Don't push me. Don't push me. Don't push me. I have to protect my team. Don't push me. Everybody wants to win. Don't push me. Don't push me. That's what went through my mind. Through my mind. Just came in and told
those games. So we're going to match that. Again, this all started with the opening faceoff of this game when Calgary started their fourth line and the Canucks responded with theirs, and we had a full line brawl. John Tortorella has gone over to the Flames outside their room. He's got to calm down. He's got to calm down. Got to calm down. I love that song. We got to get rid of stuff in our game. That is so wrong. That is so wrong. That is so wrong. Don't push me. Don't push me. I have to protect my team. It's understandable. Don't push me. Everybody don't push me. Double play, dump the twin. Don't push me. Swallow the pundits this morning. Don't push me. Put his eyes on. Don't push me. Double play, dump the twin. I have to protect my team. It's understandable. Don't push me. He's an emotional guy. Don't push me. This will be known as a soundbite. Push me. More swim. I have to protect my team. It's understandable. We found a way to win.
Oh my.
Connect everyone.
I'm sorry for when you go through the whole rest of your night going, don't push me. Don't push me. I have to protect my team. Oh man.
Gosh.
Anyways.
Too funny.
So, do we think he's is this it? Does someone else take a chance on him? I feel like these coaches, there's some manager somewhere who's always a sucker for the veteran coach. And like, they're going to think like, oh, he's going to motivate. Like, it happens enough. So like,
who's the loosey-goosey team right now that kind of looks like they need a hard push?
Exactly. Like, I mean, I think about, it's like the Sharks.
I instantly thought of the Sharks.
Oh my word. That team make all their own drama. It would make perfect sense for them to bring him back. Holy cow.
Talk, it goes to Philly.
Man, his style would actually probably fit Philly, jokes aside. You know what I mean?
And then we find out like he's being mean to Pettersson, and Pettersson complains. Oh man.
And then they trade Tortorella instead of Pettersson. That'd be good.
Yeah.
No, but when you said Sharks, I instantly thought Sharks, Ducks, Blackhawks. Those were my three that instantly came to my mind. Like if the Blackhawks make a few more moves, they're going to want to make a coaching change anyway, of no fault of whatever's going on there now. You know what I mean? It's just going to be like you'll want a blanket change. And
the Sharks still feel like they're on a positive upswing at this point.
I think so too.
They haven't hit the peak of that where they need to be.
Yeah, like Celebrini going to be a stud.
Oh yeah, and Smith looks great. Like Smith looks unreal. So,
but like, so like it's different. So let's say the three teams you said, like with that's the thing with the Sharks and the Hawks is like they have their franchise player who's kind of up and coming now.
Yep.
So do you really want to risk Tortorella benching for scratching like he scratches Bedard or like do you really want to risk? Because he'll do it. He doesn't care if you don't. You know what I mean? Like, do you really want to get into that?
That's the thing with him is he will. He'll do it. He will.
Yeah. He won't think twice about it.
Oh
man. But like so Anaheim, like him and Trevor Zegras. Whew.
Is that where Cutter Gauthier went?
Yeah,
so that's where Cutter Gauthier gets traded.
Yep, that'd be a great way to get him back.
But that's why I said Ducks. Is I thought of how much of a downswing they've had, and Zegras like signs that contract and then just nosedives and like nothing seems to be doing, and like wow.
Yeah. I think after a year or two, he'll come up in rumors again. But
and if I'm him, if I
hope he
understand
does
these
media in the
contracts
meantime.
correct, Phil listens to a lot of this stuff on Overdrive and everything, so he's going to know more than I do. But so Phil, if they fired him and he didn't quit, and he was on contract through next year, he might as well sit home for the year, right?
Yeah, he gets paid until his contract's done.
Yeah, so no matter what, like, so they let him go. That's why, like, some of these guys will go do media because they're doubling down. They're not actually breaking their no compete to go to another team.
Yeah, yeah. If he went to go to another team first, he'd have to get permission by the Flyers because he's still under contract by the Flyers. And if he did,
and then the Flyers,
if he did sign with another team, then that contract with the Flyers
terminates.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of them go do media because they're getting paid double, right? They're getting
double
paid from the media
without it actually double.
Yeah,
dipping.
why would you not? Yeah.
So,
but so probably not next year, but the year after. Like, does he? You know what I mean? End up somewhere? Like, who knows? But I don't think we've seen the last of him.
No, I don't
think
so.
I mean, I don't think we've seen the last of him.
I mean, all that stuff that went on with the Hawks and Joel Quenneville, and there's been his name's come back up a couple times as, a possible
that
coach,
stuff went away pretty quick, eh? I don't want to get deep dive into that because it feels gross, but that stuff.
You don't
want
to dive into the Kyle Beach stuff.
No, and maybe that's. Can I be honest? And I know we're not that type of podcast, but maybe that is why it kind of went away pretty quick. Is like it's not fun to talk about.
Well, so yeah,
I know. I don't want to, but
the league. The league is very old school, and they don't like that kind of thing. They don't want to hear about it. They just want it to go away, go fast.
Same with all the World Junior scenarios or situations that happened over, and there's still NHL players involved with that too, right? Like Carter Hart, for instance. You haven't heard of him now in a year and a half. He just, again, like you say, the league just kind of disappear and everyone stops talking about it.
Yeah, if it wasn't for like Rick Westhead, he's the guy that kind of follows a lot of that kind of stuff there.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
which almost ties into Torts' firing.
Wow. Yeah,
losing a blue chip goalie.
You're not wrong.
Boys, for us Leafs fans here, I see that Florida has lost to the Canadiens.
Can't believe I'm cheering for the Habs.
I know. It doesn't feel right.
So the last I looked in the Atlantic, the top three teams had the same amount of points. Is that still correct? I didn't see the
Leafs are 1 point ahead right now.
Leafs were 1 point ahead last night.
Okay,
after that win. And now Florida played today, which will be yesterday when people hear this, and lost
to the Habs.
Right, and then Toronto plays. So Toronto, win or lose tonight, is still ahead by at least a point, and if they win, they're up by 3.
Yes, they're ahead.
Well,
they're ahead by 90. They have 92 points, and Tampa Bay and Florida are following with 91. So no matter what happens tonight with Toronto still will be in number 1.
Yeah, but if they win, they're
I tell you
up by 3.
what, if the playoffs started today, well, I'll tell you, actually, I am here for either story. Right now, if the Leafs played the Senators in round 1, or if they played the Canadiens in round 1.
Now, if I'm a betting man,
Florida Battle of Ontario.
Yeah, you really could. You could have Tampa versus Florida, and you could end up with, I think the more likely thing is you really could see Tampa and Florida, and you could see Toronto and Ottawa, and you're going to see Montreal and Washington, I think is what you're going to end up seeing.
Yeah, that's how it's shaping up right now.
Don't jinx us like that.
I know. I don't want to. Gary, you don't even know. While it excites me, I do not want to play Brady Tkachuk. I don't. I really don't. I just don't. I don't.
Somebody new to lose to.
Oh, gosh. And that's a conversation. I'm trying to watch the clock, and I got something else to bring up to you, is that, like, Elliot Friedman. So last week when we talked, I had this kind of like in my back pocket, and I never said it to you, but Elliot Friedman was talking about a week or so ago on 32 Thoughts. He said he's so tired of hearing the arguments. He said minus the Toronto chirps, but the arguments of like you just had an unsuccessful year.
I know what you're talking about.
If you lost in the first round. And he said the thing is, since they've switched the playoff format and they don't do the 1 through 8, he said it's not when
same.
you lost, it's who you lost to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He said they need to look at, he said, so as a matter of fact, he said, so Toronto gets chirped by other fans for continually losing in the first round. When like 3 out of the 5 years that they lost in the first round, the teams they lost to went to the finals. And those should have been second and third round matchups, not first round matchups. And he said, like, he's just saying, so it's the same thing. So, and so Jay, just so you know, the example he gave was if Colorado gets Dallas in the first round, is that an unsuccessful year for either of them? Because one of them's going to get put out, but it's not their fault they faced each other first round when that should have been a second or third round matchup.
Yeah.
Right? So it's kind of a weird...
well, like, so, and that's it. I think it... And I hadn't really thought of it like that, but like if you look at the Stanley Cup odds right now, and like, so yeah, I mean, if you are eliminated to either the second or third most likely, you know, to win the Stanley Cup, whether it's round 1 or not, kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So,
and that was his point, right? So like if Toronto and Florida somehow, and it doesn't look likely, get each other in the first round, but Florida's a favorite to take it, then if Toronto loses to Florida in the first round, we lost in the first round again. You know, do you know what I mean? But you lost to like one of the favorites to win the whole thing, which maybe shouldn't have happened to round 2 or round 3.
Tell me this though. So I was asking some Leafs fans earlier today, because like I feel like in previous years the Leafs, I feel like had higher expectations, and I feel like the general sense I'm getting this year is like, yeah, we're a good team, but I don't know, who knows? You know what I mean? That seems to be the vibe I'm getting. And
Matthews seems normal.
Seems human.
Yeah, it just
seems human.
Yeah, and it seems to kind of live or die with, you know, when he was winning the Hart trophies and that, it was like, oh man, this is our year and all, you know. But like, so would you rather go in as first in the Atlantic and you're playing one of these wild card teams where all of a sudden the pressure's back on that you have to win, or would you rather play one of the Florida teams
and get
in
it
the
over
second
with
or third spot and just be like, you know what? We're pretty clearly the underdogs in this, nothing to lose. You know what I mean? Which one would you rather?
I'd rather be perceived as an underdog than be perceived as a favorite and have that pressure when we know that hockey's not that simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I mean, if I've learned anything about, we already kind of talked about it, but if I've learned anything about Montreal, like, I think those guys in round 1 are going to be pretty fired up. You already said it. Brady Tkachuk is going to be a maniac. He's never played in playoffs.
Yeah, it's his first playoffs, so he's going to be wild.
Yeah. So that's
only thing I wonder what
those
might
waiting to happen
is if he's too wild. And he has to
Little
dial it
Nazem
in.
Kadri.
Yeah. Man, Nazem Kadri, not to throw back, like I'm just as a Leafs guy, Michael Bunting got himself into some trouble because you get all worked up. But yeah, Kadri definitely comes to, oh my gosh, every playoff.
Mm-hmm.
And I can just see Brady Tkachuk, like he came some close to crossing that line just during the Four Nations. Like he walked that line. He was some lucky he didn't get tossed or take a bad penalty.
That's what you're going to get. That's who you're going to get, is that Brady.
Yes.
And you have Ridley Gregg on the Sens there too, who's going to automatically cause things as well.
No, Morgan's got him taken care of. Don't worry about that. Big Mo's going to take care of Greg.
I personally would take the Battle of Ontario just because I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Pressure or not.
I'm rooting for that too, just as a hockey fan.
Well, and then part of it is if you don't get them first round, if you won first round, you're getting them second round. So part of it's like pick your poison. You're going to have to get it over with.
Yeah.
That's the only thing with this playoff format, right? Like, I don't want Florida first round. I don't want Florida at all. But if you're gonna go to the finals, you're probably gonna have to play Florida. So like, I don't know what to tell you. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That is what it is. So this whole matchup thing, it's like shoulda, coulda, woulda. Like, I'd love to get past the first round to get more hockey, but you're gonna get one of those teams or both. And if you win, you could get both. So
yeah, and Tampa Bay has found a shade of their former selves here since the deadline.
Oh man!
And I like to think it's Kucherov is heating up.
Yeah,
I know I talked about him before, but I have always loved Yanni Gourde. They got him back. Yeah. He seems to be the Yanni Gourde of like the 2020-21 Lightning. I mean, that was like
he's Yanni Gourde from 5 years ago, is what I was going to say.
They were so hard to play against when they were at their peak. So
Vasilevsky looks like Vasilevsky again. It was just scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, heating up at the right time.
Yeah.
So that's your round 2 is one of those teams. Brad Marchand, the Panthers, or
and then selfishly, I'm going to pretend I'm not a Leafs fan. A round 1 Panthers Lightning would also be fun to watch.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It would be very fun to watch. Yeah, like they're going to beat the crap out of each other. Like, it is going to be something. Who's dirtier? Like the combination of Bennett, Tkachuk, Marchand, or just all around Kucherov? Who's dirtier? Let's find out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like that will be a fun series to watch if that's the series that goes down. So, I'm calling
absolutely.
it. I can't believe I'm saying this, but if Montreal and Washington happen, Montreal could honestly upset Washington.
I completely agree, because I think Washington is a bit of a. You remember the Bruins a couple years ago? They had that like crazy season, and then they completely flopped in the playoffs. I kind of think. I mean, I'll whatever. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But like, I think they're just regular season, merchants. I guess. I think they're all excited about the OV chase. The goals don't count against the record in the playoffs.
Nope.
So,
no,
I don't know. I don't really believe in Washington. I think they've just kind of been, fortunate, I guess, throughout the season. And I've never really put much stock into teams that are good all season long. I actually think it's worse. I think once they start facing the desperation, that like those teams are the ones that usually have the hardest time. And so, yeah, I think the Habs could definitely pull an upset if they're tied with the Rangers right now, and Columbus there 75. So that's not decided, but I kind of hope they get in.
I also saw a YouTube short or whatever of a guy talking, and he said some of these great regular season records are outliers in the sense that you could take first in an entire conference while losing every game to your next highest 3 teams in that conference, but winning the rest. And he said, just think about that stat. So like if Washington lost and they didn't, but you know what I mean? If they lost every game to Toronto, Florida, Tampa, but they won all the rest, they still take first. But then in the playoffs, they could get Florida or Tampa or Toronto that beat them all regular season, but they took, because you have so many games that are out of your conference that you did not play in conference teams. And then you have other games where you're playing lower teams. And so like, I'm only saying to say Washington could have on paper lost every game to Washington and Toronto this year. And they didn't, but then still take first. But then you get one of them in the play. Like it's the regular season records are a bit of an anomaly in hockey in the sense that like you have to consider schedules, and there's back-to-back games, and there's really bad road trips. And then some teams just by fluke had an easier time this year with road trips. And like,
there's a reason that like, players, no one really cares about the President's Trophy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't seem to. They really don't seem to.
It just doesn't.
It's all about playoff positioning, and let's go. Yeah. So,
I quickly wanted to mention the Blues. Avs played them yesterday. They are now on a 9-game win streak. They won that one 2-1 in what felt like a really tight playoff game. The only reason I bring them up, I just said 9-game win streak. So Jim Montgomery is taking him some time. he has transformed them into the Boston Bruins. They defend like the Boston Bruins. It's the same. So
it's almost annoying, right? Like it's frustrating. Yeah.
They don't they're not like a high flying offensive team.
They shut you down.
Extremely responsible. They back check. They don't quit. And then when you get set up in the zone, they play a tight box in front of the net. And they just keep everything to the outside.
Yep.
I'm like, this is the Boston Bruins.
Yep.
Okay. That's why they're, and they're all bought in. And
so I'm glad you said that. I was honestly about to bring up the Blues. So, Elliot just said something to the effect of, like, I keep referring to Elliot this week, but Elliot said something about they've also rallied behind Braden Shen, like big time. I guess a few players, Elliot was saying, hauled Shen aside, and it was kind of a whole, like, we know that you were looking to go, but if you can't be with your brother anyway, could you stay here? We think we can do this. And that was why there was no, Elliot said that was honestly his theory as to why no trade actually happened. When he could have went to Toronto or he could have went somewhere else. It was literally because, like, hey, Shen, I think we can do this. Like, what are we doing here? Like, why are we bailing? We can make playoffs. We can do it. Yeah. It was kind of the whole, kind of like they understood if he could go be with Luke, but if you're not going to be with Luke, Braden, I think we can do it. I think we can make playoffs. I think we're going to be all right. And they are buzzing. Like,
yeah, they're basically the best team in the league since the
trade deadline day.
The deadline, yeah. But
Four Nations kind of got Binnington going too, right? So,
he looked like Four Nations Binnington yesterday too.
Like, I was worried about Binnington going into the Four Nations, but also knowing you can't sleep on Binnington. You know what I mean? Like, he's still, and he's probably got a couple years left of that.
He's definitely building himself quite a case for being a goalie that plays in big situations. So, like, they're trying to get in the playoffs. They have a cushion now. They are the second wild card spot. They're tied with the Wild. The Canucks are the next closest at 81 points. So I mean, I don't think.
How many is the Blues got again?
87.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're tied with the Wild. So I think they're just going to flip flop on who plays the Jets and who plays the Knights. But
but they're in. They've got enough of a cushion there that, barring some unforeseen circumstance, they're
because Vancouver will Vancouver, and they're see you next year.
Only other thing I wanted to point out before we go is speaking of Washington, Ovechkin. What the heck, man. 5
Crazy.
goals.
Speaking of Gretzky's record, I want to touch on it real quick for a second. You see what Sid did this week?
Yes.
He broke
Holy
one.
crap.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. That was a sleeper of a 1-2, and, like, nobody, that's not getting near the same attention, but.
Yeah. 20th season, a point per game?
20 seasons with an average of at least a point per game. Gretzky had 19.
Right. Sid just got 20.
So no matter how Sid finishes the year, he's got enough points this year that it's going to be a point per game average when it comes out. That is insane.
2 decades of that level of production.
Of a point per game is just insane. And, like, when you stop and break that down and think about it, it's actually weirdly almost more impressive than the goals, but not getting near as much attention because it's not as flashy as a goal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 20 years.
I think those two guys are the picture of, like, the future of longevity of players who,
star players that can do it still late in their career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Because, like, the elephant in the room that I've not been thinking about is McKinnon he's either about to turn 30. Am I still here? Did you lose me? Am I gone?
Lost you for a second.
You're here.
Oh. Anyway, yeah, he's 30. He's about to be 30. And I'm like, no 3 in front of that, please. Nope.
But I'm telling you, it doesn't seem to matter anymore. least
But
not
he's
for the next
already
5
made.
years.
Yeah, I know. He's just made comments too that like
Cue the siren.
I think like in the way he skates, it's so hard on the knees with that constant crossover galloping, like. And he said that I think he knows that like
there it is.
He can't keep playing 28 minutes.
The real elephant in the room is when Ovechkin does break the record and they inevitably retire his number. What number will Cale Makar take?
Yeah, I've thought of that. all the nicknames, the grade 8.
No,
Yeah, it's true.
I can't see them ever like nationally retiring Ovechkin's number like they did Gretzky's.
Nothing but 99.
Yeah.
And there is something
Russian.
else.
Say it, because he's Russian. I'll finish the sentence for you.
That wasn't why, but that too. That too.
And our next guest, Don Cherry.
Oh, Mazepan just drove by. And he's canceled. No, but like that's great that Ovi has one of Gretzky's records. Gretzky's number was retired because he has all these records.
Yeah.
Like he had crazy records, like most seasons with a point per game, most assists ever, most goals ever, most total points ever, most secondary assists ever, most primary assists ever. Did you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, so Ovi knocked one of the records down. He's, what is he, like 800 away from getting the assist record? He won't.
It's never too late to start.
Russian machine
so
never
someday
breaks.
those will all be, yes. Put me in, coach. Russian machine never break. But you know what I mean? Like, and we said this before, like Gretzky's records will be broken, and that's fine. They'll be broken, but it won't be one name that broke them all. Like, I think Connor McDavid could break Gretzky's assist record someday. Like barring good health and he plays long enough and stuff. And then when you're looking at all the top records, it'll be most goals, Alex Ovechkin, most assists, Connor McDavid, most points most regular season points per, it'll be Sidney Crosby, most primary assists. You know what I mean? You'll have all these different names on there, but Gretzky's still Gretzky. Like, even if his name's sitting second on all those, like your name's sitting second on like 22 different records, it's just absolutely foolish. Like, it's just insane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just when you think of the all around, different game back then or not, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Well,
like, someone could excel.
So here's the points one though, like, holy cow. So he had 2,857 points. You would have to play. You would have to get at least 143 points a year for 20 seasons.
Or put NHL 25 in easy mode.
Yeah, that's right.
But like, think about how ridiculous that is. Like, it's in that same guy that had that many points and didn't play as many seasons, right?
Yeah.
Like, so when you say 20 seasons, right? Also had them. It's not like they were all assists. He had the most goals, and he had the most assists, and he had the most total points on top of having. So it's not like someone had a bunch of more assists or something. It's just it's insane. Most points per game until like literally this week.
50 hat tricks in his career.
Wow.
Yeah.
His 100 point season, or his 100 assist seasons is wild. I think he has 9 of them. And then the rest of the league.
That is the epitome of like, you're making everybody around you better.
Yeah.
That's how you get assists. Yeah.
And then in the rest of the league, I think have only had 100 assist seasons, like with all the players combined, like 15 times, and Gretzky has 9. Like, it's wild.
Yeah. I love going down the Gretzky rabbit hole, but yeah.
Man, maybe next time.
Yeah, like the only guy to get to 1,000 points faster than Wayne Gretzky is Wayne Gretzky when he did it again.
Think about that. Oh,
yep.
Like, it's so stupid.
You
like,
almost did it 3 times.
I was going to say, it's 2,800 or 2,900, isn't it?
It's a wonder he didn't, because when he went on his own terms. It's not like he was still doing okay.
Yeah,
but you're talking like
9 or 13 goals though was last season. Like it was pretty low.
Yeah, but didn't he also miss like 20 games or something? And
could have been. Yeah, I forget. I was
something like that. Like he wasn't Gretzky anymore, but he was still like the fact that at his age and it was like season 19 or whatever, and he still scored.
Well, he was. It was 98-99 with the Rangers.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I still have the
newspaper.
He
scored 9 goals. He scored 9 goals, but he still had 53 assists.
Okay.
And 62 points in his retirement year. The previous 2 with the Rangers, he had 90 and 97 points.
Wow.
More 96, than a point 97. Per game.
In the 90s.
In the 90s.
In the 90s.
Late 90s. And that's more than a point per game. That's not the 80s when we're talking about, that's the 90s.
Yeah, it's when he...
Man.
And when he would have had more with the Blues, but he was injured that year.
Yeah.
It's the 90s playing with the Rangers where he had to go face the Devils in the Trap every other night.
Scott Stevens standing there waiting for him.
Yep.
I guess there's just an alternate universe where he plays one more season. Do you know what I mean? And he actually possibly hits 3,000. But it would you couldn't rely on that because he also could have fell short of that. And then what do you do? Play another one when you know you're done? You're just holding on?
Then he wouldn't have retired in 99.
Yeah, so he wanted to retire in 99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
man,
these numbers from the 80s, when he, like the Oilers, 81, 82, 212 points. 82, 83, 196. 83, 84, 205. Next year, 208. Next year, 215. Next year, 183.
The 183 was his down year.
That's the outlier.
Yeah. He only got 121 assists that year and 62 goals.
Wow. What a player. Holy smokes.
Oh, man. Those just insane numbers. Insane.
They're ridiculous, but
83, 84, he had 87 goals. I'm sorry. We're way off the track now, but
insane.
Anyways, probably wrap her up.
Yeah, it's getting late.
Yeah.
Any other questions? No. Thank you.
He's gone too. I'm telling you, he's not coming back. That's how he's ending it. So let's go. Thanks for listening, folks.
Keep your head up.
Yeah, keep your stick on the ice. That's too funny. Don't push me, Gary. Don't push me.